If you're planning and getting ready for a Mediterranean cruise, you know that it is very different than getting ready for a Caribbean cruise or even other types of vacations. In this video, I'm going to share with you everything that you'll want to pack for your Mediterranean cruise, including some of the things that I actually forgot. Hi there, I'm Ilana from the website lifewellcruise.com. Welcome back to my channel. Now, we recently returned from our Mediterranean cruise. It was absolutely amazing, but there definitely are some things that you'll want to pack for a Mediterranean cruise that you don't even need to think about if you're planning for a Caribbean or an Alaska cruise vacation. Now, in this video, I'll share with you the list of things that you'll want to make sure that you pack both for the plane, for the cruise ports of call, as well as for your days on the cruise ship. Now, before I get started, I did want to mention that if you like this video, if you find it helpful, informative, or enjoyable in any way, then please do give this video a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Let's get started. Number one, as always, the most important is that you'll need to pack your passports. Now, just something to mention is what I do is I keep my passports in this folder. It's really handy because if I have anything else that I need to keep with it, including even boarding passes when we are at the airport, well, I can keep everything together. Now, by the way, something else that you should do is make sure that you do take a photo of your passport, and you may want to keep a copy of that with you as well. Don't be surprised if when you check in at your hotel that the hotel is going to ask you to see everybody's passports, so it really is important to make sure that they are all handy. Now, for those traveling in 2024, in addition to a passport, you will need to have a travel authorization called an ETIAS or ETIAS. Now, this has not been implemented yet, so in the future I will share more information, but this doesn't look like it's going to be very complicated. The cost is going to be €7, and it will take anywhere from 96 hours to 30 days to be able to get your travel authorization. Your cruise and your travel documents. Now, I like to keep my documents just in a folder, so I'll keep my flight information, my hotel information, that kind of thing. I just feel like sometimes the Wi-Fi doesn't work or you can't get onto your phone, and it really is good to have a few items that are printed that are quite important. Now, you're likely going to be flying to get over to your cruise. So first I'll go over the items that you'll want to make sure that you have for your flight, and then I'll talk about the items, including the cruise essentials and clothing, that you'll want to have for your cruise and for your ports of call. So the first thing that you'll want to make sure that you have for your flight is a clear TSA approved bag for your liquids and those items. So I just have like a few things in them. I actually purchased a few travel size items that have really helped me. So a travel size perfume. I have, of course, my eye makeup remover, so also travel size. I put moisturizer just in one of these little containers, and I put that there. I bought a heat protectant for my hair and kind of a little bit of a gloss. I bought that in a travel size. And so you could have that, or you could also have some of the refillable bottles. You could use those as well. And if you're flying carry-on only, you definitely want all of your liquids in here. However, if you are flying with a checked bag, as I was, you can keep other larger sizes of liquids in your checked bag. By the way, this was purchased on Amazon. I will link all of the items that I do mention in the video. I will leave them linked down below in the description of this video. You could find it just below the video title. Noise canceling headphones or earbuds. I actually purchased these. They do have a wire, but so I could watch movies in the airplane. But if you think you're going to download items on your phone or on an iPad, you can bring these as well. Airplane pressure relief earplugs. Now, my husband tried these. He does have some difficulty when planes are landing or taking off. More when they're landing, his ears will be blocked for days afterwards. He found that these really did help. He put them in about an hour before the plane landed. It made a huge difference. So now, even since we're home, he doesn't have ears that are blocked at all. A power bank travel phone charger. Now, this is a must when you travel anywhere. Now, I love this one because it is a really fast charge. So I actually charge it overnight even when I'm on a cruise, and I bring it with me. And it does require a wire though. The other one that I really like is the iWalk that plugs right into the bottom of your phone. You could use your phone while you're charging. Now, something that's optional, but some people will find it very handy, is bring compression socks. You will likely have a long flight, so that can be super helpful. And don't forget to bring candy and gum. It's actually something I forgot to bring when we were flying, so I had to buy it at the airport, which of course was more expensive than if I had simply purchased it ahead of time. Now, when it comes to your carry-on luggage for the plane, just make sure that you do have at least 2 changes of clothes. You never know. Hopefully nothing happens to your checked luggage, but you want to make sure that you do have enough in your carry-on just in case. And of course, make sure that you do include undergarments and a swimsuit. Those are very hard to find on a cruise if your checked luggage does get lost. In addition, make sure you have your medications, your valuables, and your electronics on you. All right, now let's talk Europe, something very important. First of all, you are going to need to bring euros. So if you are coming from the United States or from Canada or from somewhere else that is not basically Europe and the Mediterranean, you're going to need to bring euros with you. Now, it's a good idea to have at least a couple of hundred euros with you, just in case. You can use your credit card when you're in Europe. It's a good idea to have a Visa or even a MasterCard. American Express is less likely to be taken everywhere. Now, a little tip: when you use your credit card, choose your own currency rather than euro for a better exchange rate. Now, also very important to pack for your Mediterranean cruise, or even whenever you travel to Europe, is make sure that you are bringing a travel adapter. Now, this one was perfect. It worked well in our hotel rooms. It worked well even for my curling iron and even my Dyson. So this was just perfect. And again, I am going to link it down below in the description of this video. By the way, I have a little bit of a cruise cabin hack that I will share with you a little later that you can do with this adapter. Now, a lot of people wonder how to deal with pickpocketing when you are in Europe, especially in some of those Mediterranean ports. So one of the items that you could bring is a money belt. Of course, you can keep your passports with you. You can keep any money with you right under your shirt. So that's probably the most secure thing that you can do. Alternatively, though, is you can bring a crossbody bag. So this is my crossbody bag. I am going to show you. A lot of people ask. The crossbody bag my son used was this one, and this is just really handy. You just make sure that your crossbody bag is in front of you. You just keep your hand over your zipper if you need to. And the important thing really is not to keep your bags on chairs next to you or even on the back of your chair. That in itself is going to make a big difference. Now, when it comes to the cruise ports of call, or even when you are walking around in the cities in Europe, it's a good idea to leave your passports either in the hotel, in the safety deposit box, in your hotel safe. Make sure that you are in a safe and secure hotel. And of course, in your cruise ship, in your cruise cabin, you are going to have a safe, and that is a very safe place to leave your passports. Just make sure that you have a copy with you and that you have a photo of your passport on your phone. Your cruise essentials that you'll want to have for your cabin and for your time on the ship. So firstly, you'll want to have some magnet hooks. Now, these are actually really pretty small, but they work. I think that these are 75 pounds. I'm going to link them down in the description below. They really work well to add extra storage space. And I also like to bring just little magnet clips. That's where you can keep your shore excursion tickets and other items that you want to kind of keep out of the way to have less clutter on the desk. Now, by the way, if you're trying to keep organized for your Mediterranean cruise, I do have the LifeWell Cruise Ultimate Cruise Planner. Now, the LifeWell Cruise Ultimate Cruise Planner is a 47-page downloadable printable cruise planner that you can use from the time that you book your cruise all the way through disembarkation. Now, one of the things that I really like, in particular for a Mediterranean cruise, are the pages that are cruise port of call information. So you could actually include all of the information about the shore excursions that you might have booked, whether privately or through the cruise line. And you can also include some of the things that you want to do, maybe the souvenirs that you want to buy, the restaurants that you want to try, or the food that you want to try. So I love that part of the cruise planner, but of course there are cruise packing lists and more. Now, something that I did is I actually had this printed at my local printer, but you can download and print the pages that you want for as many cruises that you do go on. Now, I'll leave all of the information about the LifeWell Cruise Ultimate Cruise Planner linked down below in the description of this video in case you do want to check it out. Cruise luggage tags. Now, you are going to get paper luggage tags, but honestly, these can fall off. It's so much easier to use cruise luggage tag holders. Now, these are actually my favorite ones because they do come with this metal fastener, and they just work really well. And again, I'm going to link them down below in the description of this video. There are different sizes for different cruise lines. Hanging toiletry bag. Now, honestly, you're going to need a toiletry bag anyway. So the hanging toiletry bag is just perfect because you can actually hang it up on, well, anywhere in your cabin. You can use it for hotels as well. And it just has so much space. Now, this is the medium, but it does come in a large size as well. Now, this is my makeup bag. You can see I really like this brand. I do find that they make good products. And this kind of folds up a little bit too if your makeup bag is not that full. Now, you may want to bring an over-the-door organizer. And I say this especially if you're going to be maybe 4 people in the cabin. So if you're cruising with kids, you definitely are going to have more items. So this is going to be very handy. A pop-up hamper. Now, if you've never used one before, try it once and then let me know what you think. But most people just find that having a place to put their dirty laundry, maybe in the closet or in a corner of their cabin, just helps them to have a place for all of their, well, dirty clothes. Now, when it comes to your cruise ship cabin, it's likely that you're going to find there just aren't enough electric outlets. And by the way, most cruise ships are going to have both the US plugs as well as a European plug. So you can use a non-surge protected power bar that you can bring. However, the other one that I have been using lately, and I know some other people have been using it too, it even does have a newer version where instead of just having USBs, it actually has a USB-C adapter, but is this non-surge power cube. So this is really good too, and it's a perfect travel size. Now here's my little hack. If you want to be able to use the European plug as well, you can actually use this travel adapter right in your cabin. Laundry detergent. So whether you hand wash or you want to bring travel laundry packets, that is something really good to bring on your cruise. Now, I actually did a little bit of laundry while I was on my cruise, and I just purchased the detergent while I was on the ship, but it definitely would have been cheaper if I had made myself little laundry packs, or if I had brought laundry packs that I could have purchased on Amazon if I would have brought them before my cruise. Now, something that I actually forgot to bring on my Mediterranean cruise was a pool or a beach bag. Now, this would have been really handy. I have this one. It folds up pretty small, so this would have been really good to keep my sunscreen and other items, but I will show you another one. I also have this tote bag. So this would have been really good. Now, most of the time on Mediterranean cruises, sometimes we are going to go to a beach, but I know a lot of you are not going to. And just having even like a tote bag to bring with you is really handy just for when you're going to the pool. Now, these are very, very optional. So water shoes, if you think that you're going to go to a beach, if that is one of your excursions, you definitely want to bring some water shoes. Now, they're pretty small so that you can fold them up pretty flat right in your suitcase, but the beaches in the Mediterranean, they are all rocky and they will hurt your feet. Now, funny story, we were actually on an excursion where we had some time in Rapallo when we were in Italy, and it was so hot that Ethan decided to go for a swim, and of course that's where I thought of the water shoes. Now, you want to make sure that you have sunscreen, and something optional is aloe vera, but be very careful because, of course, the sun is very hot. But the other item to bring are towel clips. My towel clips go with me wherever I go, and I never regret it. Clothing and shoes in cruise ports of call. Now, I'm not going to talk extensively about clothing in this video, but please let me know if you do want a video all about what I wore on my Mediterranean cruise. I'm happy to do so, but I did want to share with you some of the things that I think are really important. So firstly, you want to make sure that you have a shawl or you have a little cardigan that's very, very light, or maybe a linen shirt to cover your shoulders. If you do go into the Vatican, or even if you go for dinner, you might want something to have to cover your shoulders. But in particular, when you go into any of those churches that are in Europe, you are going to be required to cover your shoulders. Now, for men and for women, you do want to make sure that you have comfortable sneakers or walking shoes. You are going to be likely walking a lot. There's a lot of cobblestone. It can be uneven, so you want some good support. Now, these are On shoes. I really did like them. I'll link them down in the description below. Usually I do wear Reebok Classics. I really like those as well, but I did want to show you these sandals that I got. The brand is Lemon Jelly, and I can tell you there was one day that we were walking in Rome. I think we did 18,000 steps that day, and I wore these shoes the entire time. The only thing that I do though is I always do have a little packet in a Ziploc of Band-Aids just in case I get any blisters. I always make sure that I stop them right at the very beginning. Now, these flat sandals are super comfy. I was able to wear them on the ship, off the ship, and honestly, with shorts, with dresses, even with a bathing suit, they were just perfect. And they are, by the way, an Amazon brand. So comfy. I absolutely love them. Now, don't forget to pack swimsuits and a cover-up. You'll definitely want some time to relax on the cruise ship, and having a bathing suit is pretty handy. By the way, for men, don't forget to bring your slides as well, because you will need them on the cruise ship, even if you don't use them when you're in the ports. Now, remember to pack any seasickness remedies just in case. Now, we were lucky it was so calm during our cruise, but you just never know. So don't forget to pack a sea band or something else that might be helpful. And what we always do is we just bring some boning. That really does help us. I even have a little bit for when we're flying or when we're driving, or even in cruise ports of call if we're going on a boat. You never know. This just doesn't make us drowsy or sleepy, so it's perfect. Now make sure to pack a pill box as well. This is a pill box that I've been using, so I can actually take it. I put it right into my handbag. I have it with me everywhere. This way I have aspirin, Tylenol, Advil, all of the different things that I need. I make sure that I bring that. And something else that you want to bring, there are always things going around on a cruise or when you're traveling or when you're flying, is bring some cold medication, bring some lozenges. You just never know, and you don't want to be uncomfortable when you're on a cruise or in cruise ports of call. It can be hard to find cold medicine, so make sure that you do bring that with you. Now, when it comes to packing my jewelry, I just like to keep everything together. So I have been keeping it in this jewelry bag. So it's really good. And I just keep my entire family's jewelry all with me. And it does have a nice little sort of organizer for necklaces and that kind of thing. Packing cubes. Now, packing cubes are so helpful. If you haven't gotten on the bandwagon of packing cubes yet, maybe give them a try. I like to have a different color for every member of the family, but it's definitely not necessary. And different sizes are really handy as well. And even in your carry-on bag, to keep the extra clothing or to keep bathing suits separate, it really does help to keep organized. An electronic luggage scale. Now, there's a good chance that when you're going to Europe, you are going to be checking your bags and you don't want to have overweight luggage. So it's good when you're at the hotel, especially, you may have purchased a few extra items, make sure you do weigh that so that you make sure that when you get on to your flight that you are not overweight. Now, when it comes to clothing, cruises have become much more casual. So most of the time during the day, you're going to be able to dress quite casually. In the evening time, you can basically dress the way you would for a nice restaurant if you're going to the main dining room or any of the specialty restaurants. If you're going to the buffet or any of the casual restaurants, you can dress even more casually. But a good rule of thumb for men is make sure you have at least one polo shirt and one pair of pants for men. A pair of khakis or a pair of jeans is fine. And for ladies, basically anything from capris, a pair of pants, a sundress, anything that you have is likely to be perfect. Now, most cruise lines still have at least one dressy or formal night, so you could wear something that's a little bit more dressed up for that evening, and that's always a lot of fun. Now, something that we found is on our recent cruise, we had a white and gold night, so I always suggest people bring at least one white outfit because you never know, and at the very least, you'll still look great in white. Now, I will leave links to many of the different outfits that I wore on my cruise. A lot of them were from Amazon, so I'll leave that link down below, as well as the other cruise essentials and other travel items that I mentioned in this video, and of course, the ultimate cruise planner. So I will leave all of that link down in the description below. Please let me know if you're going on a Mediterranean cruise, and let me know if there's anything that I may have forgotten. It's definitely possible, and I will leave a video right after this one all about other tips that you'll need to know if you're going on a Mediterranean cruise. I hope that you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, please do give it a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Bye for now, and happy cruising.